let's talk about something incredible. What if you could build a fortune, not with some complicated secret trading trick, but just by following a simple, consistent plan? Well, today, we're diving into the story of a regular couple from Japan who are doing exactly that. And get this, they've shared their entire playbook online for all of us to see.
Okay, so let's just start with the number that made everyone's jaw drop. This is how much their investments went up in a single month, July of 2025. This is actually what prompted the blog post this whole explainer is based on. That's more than they plan to live on for an entire year. It's a staggering figure for sure, but as you're about to see, it's really just one moment in a much, much longer journey.
So who are the people behind these crazy numbers? Well, they're a Japanese couple who go by the names Shide and Cerulean, and they run this really popular blog all about being frugal, managing their household budget, and their journey with index investing. You know, the strategy where you're not trying to be a stock-picking genius, you just buy a piece of the whole market and let time do the heavy lifting.
And they have a goal, a really clear, really ambitious goal to hit 100 million yen in total assets. That's their North Star. It's the target that guides every single financial decision they make. They're not just vaguely saving money. They are building towards a very specific number.
So what pushes someone to aim that high? You know, it wasn't about buying fancy cars or yachts. For Shinde and Cerulean, it was all about tackling some very real and probably very familiar anxieties about the future.
And Shide's reasons for getting started are just so relatable. He writes about looking around and seeing an unreliable pension system. He figured the retirement age was probably just going to get pushed back anyway, and he knew that just letting money sit in a bank account with crazy low interest rates, well, that wasn't going to cut it. He also felt that trying to grind his way to a higher salary at work was just too much stress, and that the whole high-risk day trading thing, nope, not for him.
So all of this, it all led him to this one simple but incredibly powerful conclusion. He couldn't rely on the system. He couldn't rely on some get-rich-quick scheme. He had to take control himself. And that mindset shift, way back in 2016, that was the real start of everything.
Okay, so they had the why. They had the motivation. But what about the results? After all these years of just staying consistent, what does it actually look like? Well, the results are, frankly, pretty incredible.
By July of 2025, their total net worth was sitting at nearly 70 million yen. I mean, think about that. Starting just under a decade before, they've built this massive nest egg. This is what the power of compounding and long-term discipline actually looks like in the real world.
So, where is all this money? If you look at how it's allocated, you can see they are not playing it safe. A huge 82% is in stocks, with the rest split between bonds and real estate. This is a portfolio that is absolutely built for long-term growth, not for playing it conservative.
And I have to stress this. This did not happen overnight, not even close. Their journey started way back in 2016. They stuck to their plan right through major market chaos, including that huge crash in 2020, and they just kept going. This timeline really hammers home the point that their success is built on patience, not on trying to perfectly time the market.
All right, now we're getting to the real core of it all. We've seen the what and the why, but what about the how? What's the secret sauce that lets them stay on course when so many other people would get scared and sell everything?
It comes down to their #1 rule, a quote right from their blog. Even after a month where they made more than their annual salary, they remind themselves of this: arrogance is forbidden, frugality continues. They started out with the idea that their investments could get cut in half tomorrow, and they never let go of that humility. It's like their secret weapon against greed and fear.
And this really shows you how they operate, because it is the complete opposite of what most of us are told to do, right? The news is always screaming, react to this headline, predict the market, trade, trade, trade. What does Shide and Cerulean do? The exact opposite. They just ignore all that noise. Shide says he finds the news exhausting, and that, let's be honest, analysts are usually wrong anyway. So instead, they just stay consistent and focus on living their life.
And focusing on life isn't just some vague concept for him. Oh no. While other people are glued to their stock tickers, Shimpai Day is busy playing complex simulation games, growing his own vegetables with hydroponics, raising stag beetles, I'm not kidding, and yeah, analyzing his household budget for fun. This is what it actually looks like when your wealth building is automated and you're just out there living.
If you want to boil their entire philosophy down to just one sentence, this is it. They don't try to control the stock market. They don't try to control interest rates or what's happening in the world. They focus like a laser on the only two things they have absolute power over: how much money they spend every month, which fuels their investments, and their own emotional patience to just let that money grow year after year. So we'll end with this thought. We often get so caught up searching for the perfect investment strategy, the perfect stock, the perfect algorithm. But the story of Shide and Cerulean suggests something else, doesn't it? That maybe the most important asset you can have isn't in your portfolio at all. Maybe, just maybe, it's a state of mind built on humility, patience, and a clear focus on what actually matters.